Hello, my name's Elijah Wells, and today the Golden Globe nominations that just came out, so let's check them out. For the first batch of categories, starting with Best Picture for Drama, there's Avatar: The Way of the Water, Elvis, The Fablesman, Tar, and Top Gun: Maverick. I might see something like The Fablesman or Tar might win this category, but I might conceivably see something like Avatar, depending on how the reviews go for this movie, or Top Gun: Maverick. Again, purely out of enjoyment, like fan enjoyment. But if I have to place an award at gunpoint, I think it may be maybe Fablesman. Again, this is at gunpoint since again Avatar has not been out to the public yet, and I really want to see it. And again, neither has Fablesman or Tar. Well, in the UK, of course, there's best performance by an actress in a drama movie. There's Cate Blanchett for Tar, Olivia Colman for Empire of Light, Viola Davis for Woman King, Ana de Armas for Blonde, and Michelle Williams for The Fablesman. And I think it is a very interesting category since Michelle Williams was initially hyped up to be in the supporting actress category, but for some reason she's been put in a leading actress category, even though it's getting really overcrowded in that territory, and she was considered the front runner if it were to go to the supporting actress category. But again, it looks like it's going to Cate Blanchett for Tar. There's also Olivia Colman from Empire of Light, who's has done some consistently great performances in the Father and The Favourite, which the latter she did win the Oscar for, even though Empire of Light has got more mixed reviews compared to Sam Mendes' film like American Beauty, 1917. And I think all eyes are on Blonde, which I remember got a firestorm of controversy, particularly of its allegedly misogynistic undertones, graphic sexualized imagery, being an NC-17 rated film on a streaming platform, and its abortion storylines that got a heavy amount of criticism, particularly with the collapse of the Roe versus Wade ruling, and of course the Dobbs ruling might of course collapse if the Senate has their way, but it's a case of who knows from there. And for Best Actor in Drama, there's Austin Butler for Elvis, Brandon Fraser for The Whale, Hugh Jackman for The Son, Bill Knightley for Living, Jeremy Pope for Inspection. It's definitely going to go to, let's face it, it's Brendan Fraser for The Whale. Like, even though it's directed by the highly controversial Darren Aronofsky, who's a bit of a Marmite director, but knowing what he went through, like the past 20 or 10, 15 years, and that he was blacklisted, and of course made a massive comeback with The Whale, of course. And also, again, something that garnered controversy, particularly with Top Gun with Best Picture and Drama and Brendan Fraser's nomination, is that Brendan Fraser is that he's not going to turn up for the Golden Globes, regardless if he's nominated. Particularly that he recalled an incident where he was molested by the then president of the Hollywood Foreign Press, and that the Golden Globes hasn't really shaken off its controversies, particularly with allegations of racism, sexism, and that it was essentially a douchey white club or something. And particularly with Tom Cruise, who went so far as to return his Golden Globes for Born on 4th of July, Jerry Maguire, Magnolia, and he's nominated for Best Picture in Drama for Top Gun: Maverick, which is going to make some very interesting conversations if he does win. And for Best Picture in Comedy Musical, there's Babylon, The Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery, and Triangle of Sadness. I think it's definitely most likely going to go to Everything Everywhere All at Once, but I wouldn't be surprised if something like The Banshees of Inisherin might win, but I don't think Babylon, even though it's going to be released this Christmas, hasn't been fully tested yet. Like, I'm not it could win depending how the critics would react to this movie, particularly that the alleged early early screenings suggest it's going to be a particularly rowdy movie to watch. But I think I'm coasting in for Everything Everywhere All at Once, but the Banshees might get one in. For Best Actress in Comedy Musical, there's Leslie Manville for Miss Harris Goes to Paris, Margot Robbie for Babylon, Anna Taylor-Joy for The Menu, Emma Thompson for Good Luck to You, Leo Grande, and Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think for some time Margot Robbie was the front runner for this category, particularly with the Babylon movie. But again, I'm thinking Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once looks like a really, really strong contender. Heck, she could even win that particular category if it's possible. And for Best Actor for Comedy Musical, there's Diego Calva for Babylon, Daniel Craig for Glass Onion, Knives Out Mystery, Adam Driver for White Noise, Colin Farrell for The Banshees of Inisherin, and Ralph Fiennes for The Menu. I think I remember some time ago that White Noise was going to get some award attention, but the early reviews from like Toronto Film Festival were really mixed. But at least the trailer looked really fun, and I really liked the LCD sound system song that came with it, which I completely forgotten the name of it, but the song was an absolute banger at best. Mainly because I got their album This Is Happening, again an album full of bangers. But not to be distracted, I think Colin Farrell, who's winning loads of awards at the moment for the Banshees movie, looks really good. But there's a lot of talk with Daniel Craig for Glass Onion, but I think I see Colin Farrell looking like he would really do well in this particular category. For Best Animated Feature, there's Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, In Who, Michelle the Shell with Shoes On, Puss in Boots: The Last Witch, and Turning Red from Pixar. I think all the attention, I think it's a very obvious one, it's Pinocchio by Guillermo del Toro on Netflix. I think this has got a lot of loads of critical attention at the moment. Even though Puss in Boots is not out for like a couple more weeks in the US and maybe not out to the UK for a couple more months, which is a little bit weird. But I think Pinocchio is a surefire way to win. But I think it's going to surely win for this one. Well, Best Foreign Film, there's All Quiet on the Western Front from Germany, Argentina 1985 from Argentina, Close, a co-production from Belgium, France, and the Netherlands. Decision to Leave from South Korea, RRR or Triple R from India. I've heard very good things. I heard RRR or Triple R is like a really, really wild trip. It's basically the Indian revolutionaries take on the British colonies and definitely somehow succeed. And of course, it was a film so brilliant, so damning of its British colonies that the Queen died on that very same year, which couldn't blame him. Again, I think it's a very close category, like All Quiet on the Western Front, which Netflix has been promoting a lot on its social medias. And there's Decision to Leave, which has been talked about a lot in recently. It's directed by Park Chan-wook, who did Old Boy, Lady Vengeance, and Handmaiden. At least he's starting to get some awards attention finally now already, particularly with South Korea's only Oscar contender in its history being Parasite, which is a brilliant movie, and RRR from India. India has one, I think of being Tollywood. This one has a very vibrant history with its film culture, and it's somehow only now for some reason getting recognized in American film culture, unless if it's I have all my education being in Britain, and of course I was in Leicester, and it's probably even though it has a lot of attention, a lot of Bollywood and Tollywood films had a lot of attention in the UK, but only now in the US. But I wouldn't know. But I think maybe Decision to Leave or RRR could win for this one, even though this is a very tight race. For Best Supporting Actress, there's Angela Bassett for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Kelly Condon for The Banshees, Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Dolly Leon for Triangle of Sadness, and Carey Mulligan for She Said. I'm very, very surprised that no one from I think particularly Jessie Buckley was nominated for Woman Talking, and none of the actresses were nominated for Woman Talking, which again I'm getting I'm hearing like loads and loads of praise raining down for these performances, particularly in Woman Talking. But again, they should have won. But in the case of The Weeknd, After Hours not being nominated for the Grammys for some unknown reason, just because the Grammys are kind of stupid nowadays. But I think for Best Supporting Actress, I think it may be either Angela Bassett for Black Panther, which I think, if I remember correctly, this is the first time an MCU performance got nominated for either a Golden Globe, BAFTA, or even an Oscar. Like, this could be like really big. Like, I wonder how the MCU Twitter is going to react. And of course, defending their films from Scorsese like they've always done since 2019. But I think Angela Bassett for Black Panther or Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere All at Once. There's Best Supporting Actor. There's Brandon Gleeson for The Banshees of Inisherin, Barry Keoghan for The Banshees of Inisherin, Brad Pitt for Babylon, Ki Hoon-gon for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Eddie Redmayne for The Good Nurse. I think maybe it used to be a 2-horse race between Brandon Gleeson with the Banshees movie and Ki Hoon-gon for Everything Everywhere All at Once, but I think I'm going for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Again, also things to look out for, like Brad Pitt's Babylon. Again, even though a lot of attention has been with his performance, as well as Diego Calvo's and Margot Robbie's performance, but there's also some allegations of domestic abuse already from Angelina Jolie, which may or may not hamper his career severely, or let alone his awards performance for Babylon. But we'll see how it plays out on that one, even though it is very pretty serious allegations that I don't want to comment a lot too much on, since I don't know what happens there. There's also Eddie Redmayne for The Good Nurse, who, again, after winning the Oscar for what was that? Everything Everywhere All at Once. No, A Theory of Everything. Almost forgot. And a nomination from Danish Girl. And I think he also got a lot of praise for The Trials of Chicago 7, but he was also associated with one of the most toxic franchises in recent memory, being the Fantastic Beasts films, particularly with J.K. Rowling's transphobia and Johnny Depp's domestic abuse allegations, and just the general lack of enthusiasm from the Harry Potter fan base about these films. Again, for Good Nurse, it's about the doctor who intentionally breaks his doctor's oath and kills a lot of patients. And Jessica Chastain's, we'll just say, finds out the hard way about what he does behind the surgical curtains, whatever you call them. So, not exactly a doctor you may want to trust for your surgeries. And over to the Best Directors category, there's James Cameron for Avatar: The Way of the Water, the Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Baz Luhrmann for Elvis, Martin McDowell for The Banshees of Inisherin, and Steven Spielberg for The Fablesman. It looks like a lot of attention is definitely going towards Steven Spielberg's The Fablesman movie, since it is a very personal film he's doing. So much so, this movie is essentially like a semi-autobiographical movie about him growing up in a post-World War II Arizona, and basically using filmmaking and cinema as a therapy from all the bullying, his parents divorcing, and of course, like in the trailer, the movie does discuss a lot about his Jewish upbringings, and particularly one interesting part is that he was essentially the only Jew in the neighborhood, which gives it away due to the being the only one without any Christmas lights on. And of course, using Bronora. So I'm completely botching my names for a minute. But it looks like Steven Spielberg looks surely going to win that one. But Martin McDowell looks like he could sneak it off Spielberg. There's also Best Screenplay for Todd Fields for Tar, the Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Martin McDowell for The Banshees of Inisherin, and Sarah Polley for The Woman Talking, Steven Spielberg and Tony Kushner for The Fablesman. I think maybe the Daniels look very solid to win that one, but Martin McDowell is definitely something to be taken seriously with the Banshees movie, even though I think he did win for Golden Globe for 3 Billboards, but again, do not underestimate him. And last and certainly not least, the music tag categories being Best Score and Best Song. But first off, let's start with Best Score. There's Carter Burwell for The Banshees of Inisherin, Alexandre Desplat for Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Hilda Garanter for Women Talking, Justin Hurwitz for Babylon, and John Williams for The Fablesman. Again, I think it looks like John Williams might win this one, mainly because it's purely out of the reason that he's retiring from composing, and this will be his last Spielberg film he's composing. Like, this is like a legend, almost the legendary composers. I think starting from like Sugarland Express from the mid-70s, then the iconic themes from like Jaws. There's also E.T., Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, Catch Me If You Can, which I find the music in that film particularly underrated. Maybe also like War of the Worlds, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Indiana Jones. And again, he does like a lot of great stuff for Spielberg. And I think particularly this and Dial of Dynasty from Indiana Jones going to be his last film. I think it's going to be he's going to leave a massive hole in the film industry since he's now retiring. But I think my eyes are definitely peeled for, sorry if I mispronounced her name again, but Hilda Göransson for Women Talking. Even though she has composed music for Tar, but in the past she's also composed films and also won numerous awards for 2 projects like the Joker movie by Todd Phillips and of course the Chernobyl series by HBO Max, which again it's a really sinister music for both these projects. Again, I am looking out for her. And finally, Best Song. There's Coraline from Where the Crawdads Sing by Taylor Swift, Ciao Papa from Pinocchio, Hold My Hand by Top Gun Maverick by Lady Gaga, Lift Me Up by Black Panther Wakanda Forever by Rihanna, and Natu Natu by Triple R or RRR. I think ranking each song one by one. Coraline, again, I feel like this is more of a more indie folk era of Taylor Swift, like Evermore and Folklore, which she did during lockdown. I think this is way more down an avenue. Even though it's very ballad focused, even though I'm not sure, I think not too often awards are given to ballads. There's Ciao Papa from Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Again, a very simple ballad. I think it kind of tells you everything about the movie within the lyrics. It's very simple. There's Hold My Hand from Lady Gaga from Top Gun Maverick. I think this is the one everyone has heard of the most out of the 5 songs. Again, I think that this one might be the most likely to win in my opinion. I think this is my predicted winner for this category. Hold My Hand by Lady Gaga for Top Gun Maverick, Lift Me Up for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I'm a little bit surprised that Black Panther Wakanda Forever wasn't nominated for Best Score. Neither was Batman was. Again, this is a ballad focused song and her first solo song since anything from 2016's Anti album, which he released. And of course, there's Natu Natu from Triple R, which that song is a certified banger. Like, that song is even though I don't exactly understand what they're saying, but the song, the beat and the tempo of the song is just unbelievably amazing. Like, it has all the rights to be amazing. If it's purely out complete bangers, I think Hold My Hand from Top Gun Maverick or Natu Natu from Triple R are my most likely winners for this. So, what do you think about the Golden Globe nominations? Let me know in the comments, and of course subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, comment on my video, and this is Elijah Ross, and bye!